Hello. So today I want to talk to you about the game Gartenbau. And this is a game that I got from 25th Century a couple of years ago off their website that I don't see talked about a whole lot. And I realized I haven't even talked about, but I really, really enjoy it. It is a 2 to 4 player game where you are building out tiles in front of you, but you're actually building them in 3 layers, which is really cool because each of the layers is going to score differently. So you're having to plan your base so that you can get the middle layer so that you can get the best benefits on top. My only drawback to this game is it doesn't have a solo mode. I really wish it did, but other than that, I love this game. I love kind of that vintagey seed look. It looks great on the table. It is a good time. So let me show you how it works. So the board comes in 2 pieces because depending on player count, it tells you which side. So this is the 2-player side for this one, and then this is for 3 or 4 players. And then on this board, this is the 2 to 3 player side, and this is the 4-player side. So it just makes sure that if you're playing, for example, a 2-player game, you have the right number of spaces on the board, because the way the game ends is when 4 petals are empty, that will trigger the end game. So on these petals, you are going to have a specific amount of seedling tiles set out. I'm not setting out the actual number. I think it's like 9 in a 2-player game that you set out. So you're going to have these seedling tiles out here. And so essentially everything will be equal when you start. And as you can see, they all have different types of flowers on them. These are your seedlings. They are going to be the base layer of what you're building out. Your next layer is your plants, and your final layer is your flowers. Everybody is going to get 5 flowers that will all have an ability on them. And these are kind of, the big thing you're working towards, building as many of them as you can. Some of them just have straight points. Like, for example, this one will just get you 20 points when it's built, but this one will get you points based on how many different holes you have in your area that you have built out. And this one will get you points plus extra points for seedlings and plants of a certain type. This is the only way your seedlings or your base layer will get you points, is through those cards. Other than that, the colors on your seedlings won't matter. So in the standard game, there are different sets. They have a symbol on the back and everybody gets one. So they'll all be pretty equal. You can play a more advanced option with different tiles where you will actually draft them into your hand. So once you know the game a little better, you can kind of decide how you want to specialize, and you can do a draft with these instead. You don't have to place all of these. There's no penalty for not placing them. You just tend to get more points if you do. What is the middle layer of this game? So the middle layer are the plants. There are 6 different plants. So they all, correspond to a color like this. And the plants are really cool because there will be stacks of them. And the sooner you're able to get one, it's worth 7 points right there. Then the next one's worth 6, 6, 5, 5, 4, 4, and 3. So the sooner you can plant these, the better off, because any of them still showing at the end of the game, you will get the points on them. All of them have a resource cost at the bottom. There's 2 resources in this game. There is sun and there is rain or water. So everything will have a combination of either all sun, all water, or a combination of the 2 to pay for the plants. And then to pay for your flowers, it tells you what plants you have to have underneath for you to set on top of. So everybody will have a cute little wheelbarrow that they are going to use to go, you start on orange, to go around the board. So on your turn, you can move to the next plant tile card and take it and add it to your hand, or you can take the resource that is shown on the board. So I could take this tile, or I could take 2 water or 2 sun. On my next turn, I can go to the next tile, take the tile, and take 2 sun or 1 water, and so on. What if I don't like what my next tile is? Well, I can pay resources to skip tile spots. So let's say I really want this tile. Well, then I put a resource here, either one, and a resource here, and I now land here. That means people in the future, if they take those tiles, will get a bonus resource as well. And I just spent resources not on plants, so you have to plan that out carefully. So I love those decisions that you're making. Let's say I don't want a seedling tile. I want to plant, or I want to plant one of my flowers. Well, then I just go to the next market space, which are these circles in between. And that's when I can get a plant and plant it. And I have to have the room to do so, or I can plant one of my 5 flowers in my hand. So that's what's going on the board. You cannot be on the same space as another person. So if another person was right here, I skip that tile for free. So you got to kind of pay attention to where other people are. You have 2 tiles that you can use once per game that will let you zoom ahead without having to pay any costs, and will let you do some things. And once they're spent, they're spent. If you don't spend them, you get some extra points at the end of the game. So those are nice as well. I do think I have a few upgraded bits. So if you get this game, you may have some punch board stuff instead of some of the wooden resources. So that's how the board works. Now let's look at building out some of my things. So let's say I want to eventually work up to planting this. I'm either going to need 2 purples or a blue and a red underneath of it. So if I were to get this tile and I start building out my area, when I'm building this area, they have to at least touch by 1 so that it stays in a grid, but colors don't have to match. They can, because it may help me more going forward, something like that. So if I were to buy this, it costs a blue and a purple, or not cost, but it has to be placed on. So I now have a plant, and that's 7 points. And then let's say I got this green one as well. So I now have 14 points. But if I have a flower that could be placed on top of purple and green, it would, let's pretend I have one. This one actually isn't, but we're going to pretend this would go on top. So I covered up those 14 points, but I now have 20 points there. And again, we're just building this out over time with different tiles, different colors, and we're planting more plants. We're gathering our resources. We're doing all of that. And then once 4 of the petals on the board have no more seedling tiles on them, we'll finish up so that we get the right number of turns. And then we go into final scoring, where we score all of our visible points, all of the points on our flowers, and any conditions that they had, such as holes or certain seedlings, and whoever has the most points wins. This game is so clever. It's so fun, and building up in layers is really interesting, trying to plan for that of like, okay, what seedlings do I need to get the plants to be able to plant the flowers? But also, if I don't plant over everything, I also get points for those too. So I love Gartenbau. I think it's a fabulous game. Like I said, my only drawback is I wish it had a solo, but this is a great game that you should go check out. Give me a like and a follow, and I'll keep bringing you more board game content. Thanks. Bye.